Hi there, my name's Steve McClure and I'm a BMC member and a BMC ambassador. So I first joined the BMC probably about 30 years ago, maybe more, I can't remember, it's a long time ago, but it's definitely many years ago. Something I can remember from the last year or so was something that really stuck in my mind as absolutely one of the best climbing days I've ever had in my life, and that was climbing Cenotaph Corner with my two kids up on the Cromlech in North Wales. And it's such an iconic route, one of the most famous routes, and a route which I'd known about for my whole life. And to climb that with my kids, who had a great time as well, was just such a special day, as good as any of the hard climbs I've ever done. Brilliant. As a BMC ambassador, I'm really keen to get involved with the access side of arrangements. I think for me, the access really is so important. I don't want to see that getting taken away at any point. So as much as I can do, I'm always willing to get involved. So going forward into the future, one of the big things the BMC has to do is just make sure that all climbers from all areas, all backgrounds, and whatever they want to do in climbing are all completely involved. And climbing is growing so fast, that's a lot of climbers. And it's going to be hard work to incorporate everybody, but we have to. We're the representative body for all climbers.
Welcome to the Big Depot here in Manchester for the 2026 British League Climbing Championships. We're live for semi-final action in both the under-17s and senior categories, where the pressure here today is very real. One route per category, and by the end of this session the field will be cut down to just 8 athletes in each category heading into tonight's final. It's all set up perfectly here in Manchester, and I'm to be delighted to be joined throughout by legendary competition climber, Team GB climbing coach, route setter, and many other things, as well as a commentator, Leah Crane.
Quite the intro, Mike. Hello, and good morning, everybody at home.
Leah, the routes in front of us look incredibly impressive. Really tough round in qualification yesterday. The standard has been set very, very high this weekend. And this event really does carry real weight, though. For the seniors especially, it's not just about the national title. It's about positioning yourself for GB team selection. And this makes, what I said, a high-pressure weekend.
Yeah, and I think with the double sting, like you said, it's selection, and it's the British title. In everybody's minds, it's going to be building up so much bigger. Yes, you want to go out on the wall and climb well, but equally, if you don't, you might be risking what your year looks like for the entirety.
Absolutely, yeah, high pressure stuff indeed. As you can see on screen, the joint observation, there's a lot of climbers out there, and we'll get into just why that is in a moment and a bit more details. Let's just have a look at the start list for today then in the senior women's qualification round. It was a really incredible performance yesterday at the top of the senior women's field. Erin McNeice and Isabella Rinaldi both topped Route 1 and pushed deep into Route 2. Really flawless climbing for those guys. Just behind, really interesting, Molly Thompson-Smith secured a top on Route 1 and Izzy Bridgens top Route 2 to claim fourth. Zoe Peterman's rounded out the top 5. The margins really are very, very tight on this senior women's field, especially in that top 10, and just a handful of holes really separating the field.
I think as well, that's where it steps up the nerves even another notch, because that countback really can matter, as it did do last year. Bronze place was decided by a countback to qualifiers, and that was a two plus hold separation. So I think in all the minds and all these climbers today, whatever happened yesterday, they need to clear it, and they need to just climb their socks off.
Yeah, easier said than done. In the men's qualification round yesterday, the men's semi-final start list, it was Sam Butterworth and Isaac Sutton sharing first place, both topping Route 1 and reaching 33 plus on Route 2, which was incredibly high up on the headwall here at the depot Manchester. Just behind them, the very talented Reece Conlon secured a top on Route 1, pushed to 30 on Route 2. Oliver Goodwin impressed with 42 plus on Route 1. And to take fourth, Sam Hammond rounds out the top 5 in the senior male with 41 plus and 25 plus respectively. Really strong consistency in the top 5 across all categories. Not only that, today we have the under 17s female and under 17s male as well. So just a bit of housekeeping. We have 24 athletes in the under 17 female. They're going to be climbing on the far left of the wall. 25 in the senior female, 25 in the under 17 male, and 26. Nothing short of a blizzard of climbers to get through this morning. Obviously we were running reverse order, Leah. For example, climber 26 will come out last. Climber 26.
We're confused already.
Yeah. We've got 4 climbers to keep up to date with. It will all start making sense as we go through. Essentially, they climb in reverse order from qualification yesterday. So the top qualifier in the men's category, Sam Butterworth, will be out last. And Isabella Rinaldi and Erin McNeice will be out last in the senior females as well.
Yeah, so it does mean that in inverted commas, the better climbers, when they're coming out last, they do have to listen to everything that's happened before them. Obviously they can't see anything, they're in isolation, but unless they've got headphones on that really you can't hear anything, they're going to hear what is happening on the wall.
Well, that is why there's so many climbers out there doing the collective observation at the moment. 24 plus 25 plus 25 plus 26.
There's going to be a lot of action on your screen. We're going to do our best to keep up with it and to keep it clear as to who's on and how far it got and what that actually means for each individual climber.
Yeah, what is exciting about this morning is the routes and the venue here look absolutely amazing. Bit of housekeeping then. On the far left-hand side, it's going to be the under 17 females. They've got this sort of really funky yellow and pink looking route. Next to that, in the blue and red route, is the senior female. So the women are off to the left-hand side of the main overhang here. Towards the right-hand side, it's the under 17 males in a collection of different colours, but mostly sort of yellow and orange. And to the far right is the senior males in black and white holds. And Leah, in the seniors especially, there's some huge names here and quite a lot of internationals.
There is, and I think there's 2 kind of old faithful names that have come back to the comp this year, which is Molly Thompson-Smith and Jim Pope. Jim was actually saying he's not competed since the Olympic qualifier. He put his shoes down at that point and just went climbing on rocks. So it's really nice to see him back, and he actually wants to be here just because he loves doing it. And the same for Molly. She wants to get that comp vest back on and just have a go, not because of the pressure anymore, just because that's what she does and that's what she enjoys.
Obviously online and social media, they've just been sort of suggesting that they're here for the good old days. want to climb on this amazing wall, want to test themselves against some of the juniors. But is there a sniff of LA 28 and the potential with lead boulder and speed all being split apart, that these are potentially lead specialists, and maybe there's a hint of a door opening that they want to get back into it?
I mean, you can never say never, and I think anyone would be silly to make a decision now and shut that off. Just to see what happens, because you don't know how you're going to feel in a year or 2 years' time. You might actually feel like you're back on top form. Equally, you might feel so burnt out from comps that you never want to do another one again. So I think it's nice to keep a door open and to keep options open, and that's the great thing about climbing is experience goes a really, really long way, as well as ability.
Potentially they would not have had the new challenge that they're up against here, which is the younger generation coming through. If we look at the women's field, Isabella Rinaldi topping up their qualification alongside Erin McNeice. Obviously, we know Erin's just absolutely blitzing it in 2025 across the international stage. World Cup wins there. But you've got young climbers, Lucy Garlick, for example, Isabella Rinaldi, who I mentioned, Izzy Bridgens. They're all coming up through, and Molly's going to be feeling all sorts of different pressure going up against this current batch of really strong talent.
They are, and I think that's quite the nice thing about today. Even though there's going to be a lot going on the screen, you've got the seniors and the juniors climbing side by side, and you can really start to see the younger generation coming through alongside the older climbers, shall I say? Not that they're old at all.
They're not old compared to me, let's put it that way.
But yeah, it adds another level of pressure, and I think that the more that climbing is on the screens and the Olympics is involved and everyone's just getting so psyched, it makes it so that when you do get some of the young whippersnappers coming through and biting at the heels of the climbers that are in the main spotlight now, it makes it exciting, but it also pushes everyone else forward. So yes, this is the British League Championships and it's the selection for the event, and the first World Cup isn't until July. So today is really going to shape what some of these climbers' year looks like.
As a coach, how would you prepare an athlete for a season like this? Someone like Erin, we're in the sort of depths of winter here at the moment, but this is a selection event. I guess Erin has automatically got selection due to her performances last year, but somehow she still want to be here. Psychologically, she's going to want to perform. But then she's got potentially a few months break before hitting the bouldering World Cups and then the lead. It's tricky to stay on point all season.
It is, and I kind of hung up my coaching hat a while ago, but relating it back to when Shauna was climbing and competing, obviously it was a little bit different because it was all three disciplines, but you really have to keep a really calm, level head. And yes, this is a selection event. Like you said, Erin is already selected. So for her, this will be, in my mind, a training event. This will be to test a few things. Maybe she wants to see how she feels in comp, or she wants to, she'll have some kind of like comp goal, whether it be more decisive, move quicker, whatever it is. I don't know. It's a really good comp training ground. Now, obviously not everybody gets that luxury to use a comp as a training ground. Everyone else is here is gunning for their spot on the team and on the podium. So the climbers here are having to peak in their training for this event. And then if they want to do lead only, they need to peak again if they're selected in July. So working alongside their coaches is really about maintaining health, maintaining performance throughout literally the entire season, because they've been training all winter. They've been getting their head down. Hopefully they're feeling tip-top today. They're going to do the best. Some of them are going to get selected. And then it's about getting their head back down again, not getting injured, and starting their season as best they can.
Really interesting insight, Leah. Fantastic to have you here. So much experience, and we're going to lead into that as we go through this semi-final round. As you can see, the first climbers are just getting themselves ready. They've been through their 6 minutes collective observation, and it will be a 6 minutes climbing time at the start of this competition. Climbers represented from all across the country have descended here to this relatively new venue. British Championships was held here last year, but still a very, very impressive facility. Isolation zone is essentially directly opposite behind the lead wall here in the bouldering area. Come to a holding zone, which we can see just there to the right of the main face, and they'll be getting somewhat nervous, I imagine.
I was going to say, you can see these nervous knee taps coming in. I do remember, it's been a very long time since I've tied on a rope. However, I do remember sitting on that chair, putting your number on, making sure it's all right, making sure your knot's tied properly, checking,
sure
double checking, triple checking.
Get spiked by a safety pin just before you start.
Yeah, you have to get somebody that you trust to put that on. And I guess this is part of the process that you can't really practice it. Yeah, you can get a chair out and you can sit down and tie in and all of that, but you just don't get this environment of pre-comp nerves in training. It's really hard to do that, which is why I was saying, you know, if Erin is using this as a training event, even though it's competition, it's kind of like a comfy place to be. That was a little cameo of one of our route setters, Zoe. But yeah, these young climbers are going to be literally sat side by side with, you know, Molly has won this competition 5 times. She's made 3 IFC podiums. They're sat side by side with where they want to be and where they want to go. And I think that's actually a really cool thing about today.
It is just a fantastic opportunity to be exposed to that. And the level of these events, the way that they're organised, has significantly ramped up from, say, 10 years ago, when it was just a standalone competition. It was fantastic to be a part of. But the level now, everything has just gone much more international in terms of how it looks, how the route setters are told to set the routes. And we're going to hopefully have a bit of a chat with a few of the route setters here this morning, because they're really saying this is about World Cup preparation as well. So there's no gimmies up here this morning. These routes are going to be properly hard.
Yeah, absolutely not. I think in the past, sometimes the setting has been levelled at where the British climbers are.
Well, just to give you an example, I was a route setter, I think it was the 2012 British League Championships. Women's final was around 8A.
Okay.
Men's final, maybe 8A plus 8B.
Yeah.
So qualifying routes yesterday would have been the absolute bare minimum.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's what you're saying, isn't it? These routes are set for World Cup standards. They're not set purely for the climbers that are involved standards. So this is really measuring them up to see if they're ready to go on the bigger stages.
It is set up nicely. If you have just joined us, welcome to the big depot here in the outskirts of Manchester. This is the British League Championship semi-final round. We are with you for the next couple of hours, so get yourselves a cup of tea, a few biscuits, bit of breakfast if you haven't done that already. We have the under-17s and the senior level British League Championships live throughout this morning, and we're going to get down for roughly 25 climbers down to just 8 in each category for tonight's final.
It does look like they're bringing all 4 climbers out at the start, so that will mean that some of the climbers later on at the very end of the round may be climbing on their own. Here we go, we're kicking it off. Oh, now, Mike, I'm a bit nervous.
Yeah, I'm nearly as nervous as those guys look at the moment. So, looking from right to left, then Tom Jenkins in the blue tank top. Is that a tank top? Vest?
We'll go with vest. Yeah.
Tom Jenkins will be starting on the male senior right on the far right on the white and black. We'll get very familiar with these various routes and the elements of them as we go through. Oliver Ray, under 17 male, with the red-white spider climbing wall t-shirt, starting his campaign on that sort of mint and orange routes. To the left, Martha Frost-Mullen and Zia Hazel will be on the far left. Tom Jenkins making a really decent start and flowing through this early section on the far right hand side. Good to see the Castle Climbing Centre squad represented on the left hand wall there with Zia Hazel down in London, my local facility. Local enough that I actually work there. It's great to see the talent coming through. This is interesting actually, Leo. Good start here from Tom. First climber on the wall, already roughly halfway up, but approaching, you know, it's like a steady start, but approaching a bit more of a fierce and more modern competition move, a bit of a more modern style behind that massively long draw.
Yeah, I think this is going to really start to ramp up here, and it's always interesting watching the first climbers come out, because that's where you actually get a bit of an idea of what's involved.
Super awkward clipping position, just trying to drag that from the back of his sort of right-hand hip, starting to shake all of a sudden as he really battles with the clip. He's actually missed the clip entirely there, trying a slightly different position.
Zia Hazel making light work of the jump with it being a kind of a little bit dynamic, but just starting to spend a little bit too long here on maybe that move. And yeah, she's off. And so is Tom Jenkinson. I think
left on the wall then, Oliver Ray in the red t-shirt. He's sort of like looking quite small compared to the size of the wall. All of a sudden, 55 degrees overhanging up there, and he's putting in a proper battle.
He is. He's fighting really well. It doesn't. He looked a little bit lost in those positions, but he stayed on. He stayed on literally, well, as long as he could. He was fighting that move to actually fall off going upwards, which is good to see.
Yeah, so it's Martha. Excuse me, Martha just left on the wall at the moment. To give you a bit of an idea, she's probably around 1/3 height at the moment.
And speaking to the route setters earlier, am I right in thinking that this was the kind of hard release of the heel or the foot that they were talking about? I mean, case in point.
Yeah. Well teed up there, Leah. Yeah, they tweaked that section just before the round started, so it's right before the observation started. Route setters just made a minor adjustment. Incredible effort from the team here, working deep into the night last night and this morning to get everything ready for this incredible bunch of talented athletes.
Yeah, and I think, again, just talking about the route setters, I mean, setting a senior or a junior comp is hard enough, but setting them side by side, I think the routes look cool. Obviously, as more climbers come out, hopefully we'll start to see the high points moving up and up. And that the climbers do their job in that they separate the climbers, because ultimately, again, last year there was a count back to qualifiers for the bronze medal. We don't want that happening again.
Nobody needs that.
That's such a heartbreak. So that's what we're going to try and avoid.
But I mean, in the senior women's field, we've had a tie essentially going into the semi-final here as well, with Isabella Rinaldi and Erin McNeese both topping both qualifying routes yesterday. So ultimately, if we had to, we could use time as a separator here in lead climbing, who gets to the top fastest, but nobody really wants to see that either. So I imagine the route setters probably have ramped up the difficulty a little bit here as our next bunch of climbers come out on the far left-hand side. You can see bottom left screen, far left there, Manon Bradfield, Holly Bates next to her, Oliver Nurse, and Bert Harris on the far right.
It's interesting as well, like watching all these climbers together, because there are names here that you don't hear every day. But any of these climbers could surprise us at any given point.
Well, and the next Erin, the next Molly, they're in here somewhere.
They are in here somewhere.
And the GB pathways these days seem much more solid than they were a few years ago. Properly funded athletes in the top 2 or 3 athletes.
Yep.
There is better support and a more organised system available now to start to see GB really pushing through into the senior level World Cups, like we're seeing with Erin, especially Toby Roberts, obviously, who's not competing this weekend. But they are really pushing the top end of our sport at the moment.
Yeah, and I guess the more climbers that we get paving the way, it's only going to develop better for climbers later down the line. So I guess we dip our hats to Shauna and Erin and Toby in that respect.
3 climbers almost at the same point on the wall here, just as
we're losing Oliver and Manon in the under 17 categories, female and male. But we've still got Bert battling away, and he's off. Holly, just trying to figure out this section, and I feel like every time I talk about them, they ping off the wall. I promise I've not got a little gravity shooter at them. And that's it. Their semi-finals is done and dusted.
Yeah, this is probably what we expect at this stage in the competition. Obviously, between 24 or 26 athletes, depending on the category. in theory, the strongest climbers are coming out later on. But time and time again, we do see a bolter coming from low down in the field and laying an early marker on the semi-finals here. But lead climbing in particular, unlike bouldering, it's so obvious, isn't it? You start at the bottom, you get to the top, you have one go. It's a brutal format, and there's no escaping. Like, it's just you on the wall.
Nowhere to hide. Absolutely nowhere to hide. And the conditions in here today, actually, when you sit still, they're actually quite cool. When you get moving, you can stay quite warm. I think I would actually quite like this environment to climb in. So hopefully conditions of holds, etc., aren't going to deteriorate too much. That's sometimes what you find with the early climbers coming out, is they can get better hold conditions and you start to see moves getting harder. But yeah, I think it's cool enough in here that hopefully that's not going to happen. Or the route setters haven't been stingy enough that they've put really, really bad holds on.
I'm hopefully looking forward to seeing some of the upper sections on the routes here as well, because we've got all sorts. We've got dynos, we've got hand jams. There's a little bit of everything. And they've certainly gone for the show early here in Manchester, as Sophie Morton, as you can see on your screen at the moment, starting this yellow and pink route. Really sort of technical, intricate, cryptic route. So this one's set by our route setting team, Lucy and Zoe. Definitely get a chat with Zoe a little bit later on. That little jump that you mentioned just at the top of the broadcast there, Leah, around the fourth clip on this route. So it's like a slow, techie build-up to something a little bit more dynamic.
Yeah, and I guess that's where different climbing styles come into play, whether people are kind of go for a slower, not static, but not a full-on jump approach, or if people are actually going to go in for the dyno. Especially with it being so low down, it gets the heart racing a little bit as to if you're going to catch it, and when you do catch it, you need to calm down again, because you can't climb in that elevated state well.
So different to the mindset and the power that's required for boulder.
So on your senior male route, we've got Javier Seacombe.
Yeah, really pleased to see Javier.
Javier came fourth last year by a plus. So he is going to be really gunning to actually show what he can do this season. And hopefully, again, he's not carrying any injuries. And it's always a bit of a start point in your mind of when you look up at a route and during observation, does this suit me? Am I going to enjoy this? Where's the crux? All these questions that are going through their mind. And we'll see in his body language in and around the place where other people have fell off as to how he's actually feeling on the road.
Yeah, Harvey's had a really good turn on the boulders as well, just 3 to 4 weeks ago now. The British Bouldering Championships, that one's on YouTube if you want to go check it out. 14th there as well. We had an absolute stormer on the bouldering as well, and we're seeing that more and more these past few seasons, especially when the Olympic combined has been a thing, that bouldering and lead climbing seem to be going much more hand in hand than they used to be real standalone disciplines.
Well, do you know, and he's down. That's definitely not what he's going to want it to happen. I mean, that goes without saying, but these kind of high points at the moment are really sticking with us. There's not really anyone pushing through at the moment.
Yeah, we're absolutely rattling through this at the moment. Next climber out is already on the wall. Niels Schjelberg in the under-17 males, wearing 29 again with the white spider climbing wall down. I was going to call it London, sort of south of London. It's probably still London. London's pretty big. It's a pretty big place, isn't it?
Wiggling his way up. This kind of techie start is the lowdown of what we got for this, wasn't it? It's kind of insecure, not exactly what you want at the start of the route.
No, I would want just a load of jugs, to be honest. But
that's why we're not climbing the British Champs, mate.
Portaledge halfway up for a cup of tea.
That's a different sport.
Wearing 163 then Hannah Hunt. Starting to see Hannah much more on these bigger events. 15th last year, 20th at the British Bouldering Championships a few weeks ago. I actually saw Hannah here in this venue directly after the semi-final round at the British Championships, so she was here training next competition in mind straight away. Really good fight there from Niels.
Yeah, going back to what we were saying about the route setting style, do you think that that's kind of changed with it being almost so bouldering now? We've got climbing down, we've got dynos, you've got all sorts going on, and it's almost like bouldering on a rope, but you've got to be fit enough to stay on 5-6 worth of boulders.
Yeah, there's certainly moves that we'll see here today that you would have never have seen on a classic resistance style endurance route, say 10 years ago. And there are bouldering elements creeping into lead climbing all the time, which is a really good adjustment in the sport, in my opinion. But you still, like you say, you still have to have that top end fitness to get through the techie, endurance-y style sections that are definitely here today to get to some of these more impressive, powerful moves as well. So you've got to have you've got to be a bit of a jack of all trades, master of all of them. Thomas Kroom then.
No short feet.
Thomas Kroom wearing 95 in the sort of lavender coloured t-shirt. Qualifying his second route really late last night in the end. It was a very, very long day for oh, what a catch that is there. On the far left-hand side, under 17 females, Farrah Ross.
And here, yeah,
nice. That was the move you were talking about, wasn't it?
This is the move, and this is the really good body language that you want to see after that. Let's get the heart rate back down. Just have a little calm. Don't hang around too long, and get back on track. Here she goes, off on her way. Quite calm, collected climbing from Hannah Hunt, on blue and red route. She's looking quite comfortable here when she's pulling through these moves.
Yeah, slowly pushing towards a high point. We've seen definitely at least one climber, obviously 4 climbers to keep a track of there at the same time. This next move, this sort of right heel hook release. As Thomas pushing towards that really awkward long draw on the far right hand side of this steep 55-degree overhang. It's an absolute beast, this midsection of the wall. Thomas looking solid. Oh, just as I say that, literally as I said it. Hannah Hunt goes on that same crossover move. Farrah Ross digging in.
Pulling shapes, well saved.
Yeah.
Really good fight here.
Every single hold counts for points.
Every single move counts as well. So because she had upwards momentum and inwards momentum of her hips going to that next move, I haven't got live scores in front of me, so I can't confirm it, but she will have got a plus for that, which again, that can be the difference between a medal and not. Potentially not that low down on this route, but
yeah, basically you're fighting for every single move.
Yeah.
This looks a really awkward move here from Max Armstrong.
Doesn't look very obvious. Like the holds are there, but they're kind of everywhere.
Yeah, it's very difficult to tell between what's a foothold, what's a handhold, what's a big sort of volume to stand on.
And that'll be something that comes into play with route reading, experience, what we've talked about before with, someone being really, really capable and fit, but if they just read it wrong or they've got a bit of an error, they mess up a clip, that kind of lack of experience could really hinder them.
Rosa Wall there, just walking out. Definitely the best name, I would say, going into this semi-finals. Rosa Wall on the wall.
I wondered what you meant then, Mike. I was like... Rosa Wall. It is a good name. Rosa Wall. Leeds?
London South East North.
Oh, not Leeds.
Yeah, we've
got
codes for where they live. LSEN.
Quite clear that I don't know what this codes mean.
Put my MI5 cap on. I believe that means London South East North. That's referring to the different regions where the climbers come from.
I think it's easy to know, like, in the local area, in the local wall, you start to know these local climbers. But yeah, when we get the climbers from like down south, which is what we've just seen, it's not always names that we hear all the time.
So Rose, the 2 clips in then. This one is 10 or 11 clips to the top. Oh, look at that flexibility there on the left heel. Classic route climbing style, just working the rest, finding different resting positions. Daniel Shine on the far right now. in the senior male on the black and white route. Henry Haynes just to his left. Henry just getting the first clip in now, just starting. On the far left, Tilly Roberts.
Good.
You've really got to be ready to come straight out the gate on these routes, and I think that's the angle of the wall. I mean, maybe less so on the left-hand side on the under-17 girls route. It's a less steep, but these 3 routes on the right, you're straight into the action.
Yeah, for me that's due to the compact nature of the routes. I need to get the fact check on this one as we just lose Daniel Shine, but for me this looks like it's slightly less than 15 meters here, which is a standard sort of world climbing, what used to be IFSC format height of wall. Obviously it's a super steep section, so the wall climbs quite long, but you're straight into some steep stuff, and like I say, the intensity is really straight off the get-go. No nice little thanks for coming, here's a semi-final, little few moves to get into it. It's intense and awkward right from the beginning.
Just losing Tilly Roberts there too.
And you can see clipping is such a crucial part of lead climbing. Almost the clips have become more of an element to concentrating on the moves themselves.
I mean, it should be something that they're all training anyway. I think
Rosa Wall, we've seen this a number of times on this attempt so far. She's really using her feet quite carefully. Sort of left toe hook, almost looks like she's about to go into a bat hang there.
This is where the indecisiveness can really...
Yeah, so it's a bit tangled up there. Whoosh.
Zap you down. She is okay on that fall. Yeah, she's fine. I thought she'd...
Really seemed to struggle to get into a bit of a flow on the route. Was using the feet really carefully, but like I say, the routes are so awkward and burly, technical. Just couldn't quite get into that nice rhythm that potentially she might have been looking for.
Be really interesting to know, not that we ever will, but like what their warm-up was like. Did they warm up in control and comfortably and nice lead climbing, or did they climb up with a bit of punch in their step, doing moves that don't feel nice, they feel a bit risky, because that is what you're going to get out here, and there's no practice. There's observation, sure, but there's no practice.
George Hammond then, with the grey t-shirt on bottom left of your screen at the moment.
He's a big dude. He is very tall. Just looking over the wall, not actually on my screen here, and he's a lot taller than the climbers that we've seen on this route so far. Yeah,
climbing's very, very varied sport. Traditionally, some of the stronger climbers, sort of Japanese team especially, quite short, but certainly doesn't... well, just about to... I'm going to eat my own words there, because he's literally just tried to skip 2 moves.
Nearly messed up his clip.
I'll redesign that sentence to say, usually everyone seems to be in a similar sort of boat, and you have to use those different strengths and weaknesses in terms of height and weight as you progress through the route.
Yeah, for sure. It can definitely work with you and work against you. We'll see if he can make any more headway through the crook section that we've seen a bit higher up in these next few moves. Getting to the white pocket, I think, will be a high point at the moment.
Yeah, it seems to be quite all right, this senior male route, to get through to the pockets at the moment. It's very tensiony, as we're going to lose George through that section. But the route, I mean, the depth of the field here is just incredible. From those coming up through the ranks of the junior teams into what is potential World Cup medalists, European champions, that sort of thing, with the likes of Rees, Conlon, Sam Butterworth. People have been really pushing it on the international stage recently. So we've got a long way to go on these routes, that's for sure. 36, that's Eva Smith. Looking pretty relaxed at the moment. Next to her, I believe that's Emily Chan.
Really good decision there on route reading. Just to move her right hand over to the left side of that volume so she's closer. Making really good decisions. And moving well because of it. I believe we've got a high point on that. right now.
Potentially the route on the left is actually quite hard to read from the ground. They've had that 6-minute observation period, but we've got this sort of like really impressive lighting scheme here. It's quite different to a natural lighting that you would get in the gym normally. The blue with this sort of really, really bold spotlight on you, and they're very bright holds. Sort of reminds me of some sort of refresher bars you get from the ice cream van or the the corner shop. Big battle here. This is brilliant from Eva. She is reading it well, even in these tricky conditions.
She can just keep up this momentum of moving, making right choices.
Nice, powering up into that left hand.
Oh,
high point from
she is.
Eva. Emily Chan's down as well. In the senior females, 6 climbers gone, 19 to go. Thomas Jenkins now, starting the under-17s male. We are flying through this one at the moment. Ryan Smith will be next in the senior male category.
25 plus for Eva Smith. We do have live scoring on the BMC results page, so if you do want to head over to there on your phone while you're watching, just so you can see who's actually pipping ahead.
If you have just joined us, Mike Langley and Leah Crane here in the commentary position under the massive lead wall at the Big Depot here in Manchester. This is the semi-final round of the British Lead Championship, so it's the title is up for grabs in the seniors, and selection is up for grabs in the under-17. Selection to the Team GB
Climbing.
What do you call it? GB Climb, not Team GB.
It's different.
I've really enjoyed watching the Winter Olympics this year. Incredible to see climbing itself pushing into the LA Games coming up in 2028. So much to look forward to in climbing. Feels like we're in an incredible position now with our sport. And events like this feed all the way up into that. There's that tricky sequence from Thomas Jenkins first to get on that massive slope, 55 degrees overhanging that wall. Look how bad that hold is.
He needs to keep that heel in for this move.
Oh,
yes.
Nice.
Good lad. Well done. Good release. It's so important to keep tension here. I think if your feet are coming off, I mean, you need to do a true hero move to stay on at this point. The route setters definitely haven't intended that part to be footless. A little bit different though on the senior male route. You can see Ryan. You can see Ryan cutting loose, fighting, battling with these pockets. He's giving us a show.
Come on. Yes. Effort. Good effort.
Good effort. Yeah. Fair play.
Proper try hard noises there. That's what we want to see.
He can go home saying he gave it 100%.
Yeah, for sure. Audrey Frederick starts on the refresher line.
You see, everyone looks so chill and relaxed at the start of these routes, and then look how calm she is.
Nice.
Like,
yeah, the stees with the jump out right.
No spending of energy there, no expense on that move at all.
It's amazing how many times in professional sport somebody makes it look easy, although they're absolutely gassing.
She might think completely different in her mind. She might be having a panic, but
yeah, she might be now, because she just missed that draw.
Palm on the wall.
Just a little reset moment, trying to find the right clipping position. Oh. Again, clipping could be crucial here. The amount of times we've said that. Really got to focus on the clips. Make that part of the climb.
And it's a skill set in itself, not necessarily just doing it, but the decision-making part of it. When to do it, where from, positions, and tactically, do you do another couple of moves to clip higher?
Kiara Lawler wearing 191 on the big screen, top right at the moment.
Wearing a Dublin vest, so we got a bit of an Irish contingent coming over.
Yeah, that's why the numbers, it's supposed to be 24 to go through to a semi-final round. traditional world climbing format, but when we've got an overseas competitor, the number bumps up. So we take 24 Brits through, and
Knowledge.
that's why we've got 25.
Knowledge.
Eli Hook just making a start then. Imagine in that position there. If you look up from that point onwards, absolutely terrifying. It's massive.
Number 3, set up the speed miles. Working its way up this.
Cameron McLean waving the Scottish flag.
Cameron with a 32 plus and a 19 plus. His scores in the qualification round yesterday. Interestingly, he managed to miss that giant sloper. Previous climber before him had to match the sloper, then bump up the right hand. He managed to skip the match and just use that giant sloper as an intermediate.
Yeah, he's moving well through the section. He looks very calm.
That right hand is on there though. Does look absolutely terrible. Really hard rolled over through that mint hold that he's now got in his left hand with a load of blockers just around the back of it. Ramping up the intensity midway through this massive steep section.
Yeah, using a lot of power here. It'd be interesting to see if he can find a spot to get a bit back after he's got through this intense bit. Holding his head. I think he knew he had more in the tank for that move. With a high point on that route though, and now he has to sit and watch.
Cameron McLean looking fairly clean through this pocket section, but just you can see the tension through the forearms as they rattle their way into the black section here. Route setters taking no prisoners this stage in the competition.
Spitting them off.
We're all down to climbers 9 and 10 already. Molly Roberts on the far left-hand side now. That's her on the pink and yellow route.
And talking about a fast competition with, people falling off, not low down, but in quick succession, and the next climbers coming on, is all the climbers in isolation don't have an actual start time, so they need to be ready, on it, warm. They could have half an hour, 40 minutes, they could have 10 minutes, who knows?
Yeah, that must be a really difficult thing to deal with for athletes. They've got to be kind of on point and ready to go at an unspecified time.
Again, if they've not practiced it, if they've not worked with their coach, if they've got one, to be ready at the drop of a hat, or go when they're not ready. And tough, that's the card you've been dealt on the competition day.
Who would want to be a competition climber? Absolutely brutal. Caitlin Fletcher there, that same move.
Really good getting the plus though. That was good tactically for her to make upwards movement for her there, just to gain the plus.
Oliver Cross then, the next one. I'm really enjoying this sort of yellow and orange route at the moment.
It kind of looks, I don't know, from here, a bit unpresuming, and then you see someone on it, and it looks savage.
Yeah, look at that next hold. He's just about to go up to with his right hand. It's just a sloping plate.
I mean, I thought that was just part of the feature of the hold, not a hand hold.
Not something you're actually supposed to hold on to.
No.
Let's see. Just having a little search around. Surely that can't be the hold, he's thinking.
Here
Then
go.
bosh.
Oh.
Jump up. Maybe just a slight rushing of that move. Theo Stevens on the far right hand side now.
Again, steady away at the bottom, probably maybe a little bit unnerving just to get them going a little bit, but this is where it really starts to ramp in. You put the power hammer down for this section and then keep calm through what looks like actually a really tensiony section for the senior men.
Yeah, this next move here then, just getting the clip as well. So much, like you say, Leah, so much body tension just to hold, pause in those positions to get the clip. Really nice work with the right toe hook, just to pull the body into the wall. That flick to the pocket. Oh, yes.
He's got his fight on. I think he'll know as well that every time he cuts loose or he feels like he might be off for a second, he's going to overgrip. He's getting more and more tired, and this is where mistakes start to creep in. Good fight, good move. Really good awareness to pull high on the undercut, and he slaps the high point, but he'll only get the plus for that. He won't get the points.
Yeah, I've only seen one climber on the senior male far right-hand side actually have a battle with that quick draw at all. But less than halfway through this one still. Ruth Johansson, starting to see Ruth a lot more now. Very quietly effective on the wall. 22nd last year. So currently looking to improve that position. Actually 22nd also in the British Championships. For boulders just a few weeks ago. Let's see how Ruth can get on this next section. Starting to get into the steep stuff. Just to her right, Harry Tyndall. Just approaching it in a much more sort of slower and controlled fashion.
You start to hear some shouts from the crowd. We've got Works resident DJ Sam Witt on the deck, so we've actually got some music going on in the house. I think it gives a nice atmosphere when you've got someone that actually is responsible for the tunes.
I think he might be emceeing as well at the same time, actually. I think he's doing the intro. Sam's dulcet tones as well as the techno. It's a unique combination. Harry really steady and fighting for every point up to this point. Really nice little drop knee roll over there to that right hand dish. Ruth looking very relaxed at the moment. Yeah. Top of your screen at the moment. Well, both sides of the right hand screen at the moment. That's Ruth Johansson.
Really good straight arms for chilling out on. Really good straight leg for not having unnecessary pressure through her legs.
Harry nearly blew up a gasket getting into that right hand undercut. You could hear the puff as he hit the hold from there, but he manages to progress. Good little fight from Ruth.
Harry just popping his head back to get that clip. The route set is really not giving anything away at the start of these routes.
Harry, slow and steady, fairly effective, but ultimately falls off just under halfway here on the wall.
Still at that high, creeping up towards that high point. Yeah, they've got the plus, but not the hold for that.
Cara Tanner's been out, done and dusted. It's Becca Day now on the far left-hand side of the wall, wearing that black T-shirt you can see.
As we lose Eric Ashmore on the right side of the senior men as well. Everyone's coming in hot with these routes, aren't they? On and off.
Yeah, shortly the route setters will step in for a cleaning break on the holds. Luckily for them, in some ways, not really going to have to go much past halfway. Nothing really troubling the scorers above half height on these walls at the moment, especially with the slopey nature of a lot of these routes.
I think that's when the crowd start to get a little bit more excited as well, when you get a climber that breaks through that high point and they make a bid for freedom up one of the routes.
Becca Day does well to release that left awkward looking heel hook that she had in place there.
And this is where we've seen some of the other climbers drop down, back down with their left hand and bump again right hand to the left crimp.
Yes.
There's a lot of left and rights going on there, but it just makes you a little bit closer to the big yellow side pull that she needs to go to next.
So potentially the bottom left of your screen looking like she wants the right hand where her left hand currently is. Just to be able to span across the wall there. There we go. Potentially figured it out. Feel the cogs turning from here. Really awkward cross through now that she's got to do. Goes to cross under.
Yeah, nice.
Easy to cross, but hard to unwind. Oh, tension across the shoulder.
Get the feet up. Get the feet up.
Shoulders being put under a lot of strain there.
Her face, just saw it as she was climbing through that section, looked so casual. She was so calm and collected. Almost looked like she was just going to keep on climbing.
Wearing 174, Ember Mulhern. Really looking forward to seeing her super powerful style. This under 19s lead and boulder team. 13th at the British Bouldering Championships 3 weeks ago.
Another Scottish contingent.
I've even seen Ember at one of the Blockfest events down in London fairly recently, so she's getting around, sampling events from all over. Finn Kurzweil on the right hand side, he's going to be starting just on the, wearing the sort of sage coloured t-shirt, wearing 1, 2, 3. He is incredibly talented and had a really good run at the British Bouldering Championships from the Exeter area.
I think as well, like going around and getting done as many competitions as you can, you can't underestimate the experience that brings from the minute that you walk into the wall or the prep the night before packing your bag to warming up, doing the comp and the results. It's so invaluable.
Marley Lynch looking pretty strong in the midsection at the moment. He actually has a really good use of his thumbs on these big pinches. Just hesitating on the draw there again, clipping positions becoming really tricky. Double undercut, absolute burnout on the biceps as Ember drops in that similar position. The scores racking up all very quite similar on the senior female line at the moment. Is Finn one of our sort of earlier bigger names that we're seeing on the wall here? Second climber to start trying to interact with this draw. He's gone high to the pocket.
That is the high point that he's got.
Let's see now. He's looking much more casual when it comes to this draw, but it is awkward, Leah, isn't it? The draw's almost resting on your stomach at that point. You can touch the draws.
You can grab it and clip it if that's running through their mind at the time. It might just be muscle memory of grab the rope and clip.
There we go then, popping up to the left hand. What's he going to do? Finn goes for a 1, 2, 3. Close. High point from Finn Kurzweil from Exeter. Really nice stuff. This is exactly what you're talking about, Leah. A slow power endurance build up into a really modern bouldering move. So paddle dyno potentially there. 1, 2, 3 on the senior men's category. Really looking forward to seeing how that one plays out. As an Ace Baines on the far left hand side, somebody I recognise from down south.
Doing the dyno static.
Nice.
Different styles. Finn with a high point on the senior men's on the right side. Again, hopefully we're talking to the setter that actually set that route in a few minutes after he's done his brushing duties. Just have a quick chat around what was intended in the route and what it looks like. But Finn was reading, from what we've heard, was reading that perfectly. The execution wasn't quite there, but he does have the high point on that route.
That's one of our first route setters there, getting the brushing duty underway. Mikey Cleverden. Team absolutely grafting here this weekend. So after 12 climbers, excuse me, the under 17 male route is just paused whilst the route is cleaned, and this is looking really good on the left hand side here. It gives an opportunity to focus on an N.A. Baines. I know, but another one of those climbers, strong family pedigree.
Just starting to approach the high point here. Yeah, she's on that, and its next move will just pop her into the lead so far. And there we have it.
Close with the right hand. Yeah, we've seen one other climber touch that hold. Good stuff.
Finn was given the plus on that men's senior route, so again it could be important coming down to count back.
Yeah, 26 climbers in that category, senior male to get down to just 8. Wearing 155, Connie Rawlins, senior female, coming up next then. She is the 11th climber out of 25 in that category.
Gavin Thomas entering the pump up the power section.
That left hand is just a horrible little ratty crimp that's blocked by the volume. It's like a tension on the left foot. 55 degrees overhang. It's
You say the tension, he's just starting to get the leg shakes. He's really zoned in here.
Yeah, he's putting the power down.
Yeah, bent arm clip, you know that he's engaged on the pocket. It looks rubbish, if you do say so myself. Well, from where I'm sat on the sofa, anyway.
Pump into this next left hand, no.
And another victim of the men's senior right room.
Meanwhile, Connie looking pretty chill at the moment. Always slightly alarming to see on a route when there's a big hold, a big jug. You know that there's something either spicy leading into it or something spicy coming out of it.
Makes you a bit unnerved when you get a jug on a route.
Yeah, and it's so easy to stay there, but so hard to leave. Remember, 6 minutes for each of these climbers to get to the top. You would have thought at this stage in the competition, not really worried about time. It's more about just getting points on the board, trying to find high points. The routes have been designed in such a way where you can get it done in 6 minutes. How many moves, Leah, are we looking at each of these routes?
So, working from left to right, so the pink and yellow, we're looking at around 36 moves, but total points will be 39. For the red and blue route, total points will be 47.
Wow.
The orange and yellow will be 40. Just to highlight there, though, that is points, not necessarily moves. And that is because of how they need to score it to separate.
With matching and
absolutely
different things.
Yeah. And then the black and white route is 44 total.
Rose Glover Webb then in the bright greeny yellow top on the far left hand side. She is the 12th climber to come out, so there'll be a cleaning rotation after Rose.
You kind of feel it's always just the look of the draw, isn't it, and where you come in the semi-finals, but you would feel a little bit shortchanged if the brusher got on just after you to make it clean for the next climber.
Yeah, it must be frustrating. That's another thing. There's just so many elements of mindset in competition climbing. It's just another thing you have to add to the sort of the wheel of different elements of lead climbing.
Yeah. Be ready for anything. Train everything.
Look at that battle there from Rose. The double guppy.
Double guppy is not ideal. This is not the position she wants to be in.
Oh, the absolute bicep burner.
But you can't say she didn't try. There was absolute fight to stay on that wall then. And instead of dropping off, she moved upwards, so she will get the point. She will get the plus. I know I keep banging on about that, but again, it's so important to separate.
When you were coaching Shauna Coxey leading up to the Tokyo Olympics, were you were looking at the minutiae detail of everything when it comes to lead climbing?
Yeah, like there was no space to hide. Yes, it was a triple event, so there was a little bit more wiggle room in that there was more to combine. Even the word, it was combined. However, it goes without saying that the higher you got in your points, the better you were going to do on the draw. So
yeah, with that multiplier effect as well.
It was
each
savage.
position was massive.
Yeah, and when you're at that level, every small detail matters. You can't really leave any stone unturned. But I think the great thing about Shauna was she has so much experience. It was almost like she'd unturned a lot of those stones anyway. So it was really refining what she already had and learning to speed climb.
The small matter of learning to speed climb.
Yeah.
Sarah in Wednesday wheels then. Third in the under-17 category last year. She was on the podium here, but stepped up an age category. She's now into the seniors. 24th at the British Bouldering Championships just a few weeks ago. He's competing internationally. Another climber from the Exeter region, as we just saw with Finn Kerr as well.
Only one climber on the wall at the minute. There's two route setters on, just giving the routes a clean. So
really good opportunity to focus in on this senior women's route. We've seen a lot of detail lower down on this route. There's that punch move up to the really positive hold. Cleaning break finish now on the under-17 male category. Another strong name for climbing, Dylan Chalker. Love it.
I like that you're spotting these as well.
So Seren just got to release this right heel now. This is the tricky move. Opting to figure out the next one. Nice little flip back with the right hand. Really good control from Seren. Powerful position though. Paused halfway through that release. There's a lot of work going on mentally to try and figure out this next sequence.
Looked like she kind of forgot to clip there and then corrected herself. But again, she's
good
she's
punch
keeping
over.
herself together.
High point here on the senior women's route.
Match it. Yes. Here we go.
Crowd really lifting all of a sudden for Seren. That's a sweet move up and right to the blocked crimp.
Yeah, that's a really good bump there in that she didn't use that crimp. She kept her momentum going.
Interesting, the wall here, the angle just slowly eases off from this point onwards. But the head wall is supposedly incredibly intricate, really hard to read, and the holds get very, very bad. Sort of tooth pinches after all that steep climbing. Fantastic, really setting a high bar here for Seren. Pumps outright. Good work from Seren Wednesday Wills. I think she'll be pretty pleased with that when she hears the crowd reaction. She knows that is a good effort. Roughly halfway through the competition. And pushing that high point much, much further than we've seen so far.
Yeah, really good to see that breakthrough of those moves, and we can actually see a little bit more about what's in store higher up. I feel like she had a bit more in the tank there, but the moves almost got away from her a little bit. She looked a little bit unstable, and she had the kind of presence of mind to pop.
Yeah, really unforgiving sequences as well. The next hold it's going for is like a blocked pinch as well. So every single move just ramps up and up and up. That classic lead climbing competition where it just constantly gets harder and harder and harder.
Yeah, like you said, the wall angle does start to forgive, but the holds don't. The holds get worse.
Interesting kick out for the left foot there from Dylan. Went for like a leg chop out left before trying to press into it. It was the left foot that just zinged off. Huge, giant yellow blobs to stand on, but they're actually really slopey.
I mean, they are huge, but it also means that it doesn't give you a specific spot to stand. So it adds in an element of decision making that actually it would be just a whole lot easier if they'd have put a little hold on. But that's aim of the game. That's why they do it. Element of confusion.
Next route setter starts up the wall for the cleaning rotation. Lucy there. Monty James, well, also wearing white spider. We've seen good representation from the southeast here in Manchester. He was at the British Bouldering Championships across town just a few weeks ago as well. Another very sort of taller climber, slight frame.
Yeah, long limbs on Monty. Again, it could be working for him in making some of these shorter moves a bit easier, but when you start to work up where he needs to be bunched or something becomes a little bit off balance, I don't know, being tall, there's more of you to fit in the gap.
Charlotte Wilcox starting in the under-17 female category on the far left now. Bronze medal at the recent Blockfest at Mile End down in London. When was that? 2 weeks ago. Now straight back onto the ropes, onto the lead wall. Monty flowing nicely here at the moment. Charlotte on the left still looking composed, whilst Monty pumping through this earlier section and does fall not close, well, pretty close to the high point. I'm really pleased to be joined by Kayleen Harker, one of our route setters here. Kayleen, apart from being utterly exhausted, the routes look fantastic at the moment, but it's hard.
Certainly hard, yeah. That's kind of what we want to see, though, when we're watching a semi-final. You know, we're really testing the best athletes in the country. So yeah, tough semi-final. Hopefully, as the athletes start to come through, we will see some high points.
Is there any feeling of nerves at the moment? I mean, we're only halfway through. We've got a long way to go, and the calibre of athletes to come is incredible as we just lose Charlotte. Any nerves at the moment, or are you just feeling kind of like, well, let's put it this way. You've set a paddle dyno and a hand jam all on the same route.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. As a route setter, you always feel a bit nervous. You know, you want to get the level exactly right, not too hard, not too easy. The first guy out on the open or the senior male route, really good.
Yeah, really early high point.
It looked like it was a really good high point, and I was a bit worried that maybe the level was too easy. And now we're seeing some people falling lower down. So Yeah, there's a paddle dyno to come potentially. Maybe it's cheatable, I don't know, if you're really strong. And then obviously a hand jam. So lots of tricky climbing to come. Hopefully some athletes can pull it out of the bag for us. Great to see the athletes in the other categories getting high. I think we've had some senior female women pretty high, haven't we?
Yes. Yep, mostly sort of pushing towards 2/3 height. Sarah and Wednesday Wills in the senior female just a moment ago, getting into the 2/4 section. Just give us a little bit of an insight then. When did you get here? How long does it take to set championships like this?
Okay, so we've been here since Tuesday. We set these final routes on Tuesday, actually. We set them, we test them, and then we strip them.
Yes, just a context on that. It's now Sunday, I believe.
Yeah, I believe it's
you
Sunday.
haven't seen daylight for a while, but...
Yeah,
yes.
So Tuesday we set the finals, Wednesday we set these routes, the semi-finals, and then Thursday and Friday, qualification, testing, all that sort of stuff. We were here all day Saturday for the qualification round, brushing, observing the athletes so that we can get the level right, hopefully. And then we had a really long stint last night. We were actually here till gone 3 a.m. Getting these routes back up on the wall, making some little adjustments.
Yeah, it's really, really brutal. An amazing team you've got here as well. Diverse team with different skill sets.
Really great team we've had this week. Yeah, we've Max Ayrton's the head setter. He's just always so good. Keeps us calm and on the level. Lucy Ross and Zoe Wood have been great on the team. Amazing to have them. Mikey Cleverdon, of course, and then we've also had Dave from the depot helping us out as well. So really good team this week. It's sort of having a good strong team keeps the vibes high.
Well, you need vibes. You need vibes when it's 3 a.m, don't you?
For
you
sure.
Need coffee and vibes.
Coffee, good tunes, vibes.
What's it like setting on the wall then? I believe it's 55 degrees overhanging. You were saying the sort of meat of this wall. It's very, very steep, but quite varied. But it does get into the steep stuff quite quick, and we're seeing sort of powerful and complex starts to these routes.
Yeah, I mean, it's really steep for a competition lead wall. That mid section is just so steep, 55 degrees. But actually, we've had a lot of fun with it this week, and we've done some fun stuff. In the final, we've really made the most of the steep, so it's definitely worth tuning into the live stream for that, because it's going to be pretty exciting. So yeah, it's a steep wall. It's really powerful, power endurance-y.
Awkward clipping position here for Finn Jackson on the far right hand side top of your screen. We've seen a couple of people having a real battle with that before. This is the move that you talked about, Kaylin. This is the move you set then. You're hoping for a paddle dyno potentially here. Let's go, Finn. 1, 2. Oh, just fumbled it.
Yeah, just last night we actually put the blocker in there. You can see the hold on the sort of top right of that middle hold of the campus. He looked like he just hit the blocker. The blocker's actually there just to try to discourage you from going left hand first and matching that hold. So he was just hitting the blocker, but looking good. I'm confident we're going to see somebody through that move
for sure
and fighting deep into the route.
It is looking good, and the story of these routes is starting to develop. As on the left hand side, Edris, Doyle Woods, and another route that's got quite a lot to it quite early.
Really cool little jump here out to this hold. Wow,
nice little floater across there. That's really cool.
This route is kind of overwhelming to climb. It's really bright, colourful,
for sure.
Lots of holds and volumes everywhere. It's a really interesting, sort of complex and obviously physical challenge.
Well, we're just saying that with these lights as well, it's really, that route pops big time. It's a really good way of describing it being overwhelming. As if this situation wasn't overwhelming enough.
Yeah, of course. I think the camera crew actually were in and they had some UV cannons, and maybe they've actually got the UV there to really make it pop as well. So, yeah, really, I mean, it's really sort of overstimulating sometimes. You're in your first semi-final of the British Leagues Climbing Championships, and you've got to tackle these fairly unique-looking routes.
Kaylin, I'll use this opportunity to say thank you so much for joining us. Good luck this afternoon. We've got to rebuild these routes, but obviously we've got a fair way to go here, still in the semi-final. Thank you and the team for doing an incredible set of routes, and let's see if we can see some close tops. There's a big fall on the left-hand side there. She's okay. From Edris. Good stuff from Kaylin. Always interesting to get that insight into what it really takes to build a championships the amount of graft is almost unbearable. As bottom left of your screen, Tom Steele, somebody who's been going very, very well, especially on the boulders recently. Great to see him back on the lead rope. A little bit of pedigree on the lead wall as well. GB team, English lead champion, alongside Holly Key. Yeah, I love the way that the lead climbing just builds as the morning goes on. Climbers start to get higher and higher, the crowd starts to get into it, the calibre of athletes goes up, and we just can't wait to start seeing climbers higher and higher up on these routes.
Yeah, the chalk marks start to appear, start to get really bedded in at the bottom, and they start to appear more higher up.
Tom, quite some heavy strapping on the right ring finger there. I hope that's nothing too serious. Recently had quite a bad ankle injury as well, so he's been battling through quite a number of different elements of what it takes to be on the GB climbing team.
Hopefully they were mishaps.
Yeah, interestingly, he's missed a lower right foot. He's missed there.
Oh.
Yeah, I do think that might just be a small route reading area. It's a very positive right foot that he skipped entirely. He might just be kicking himself slightly there. Just missed the foothold. Looked pretty strong up to that point as well.
Ben Livermore kicking off his under-17 semi-final. Again, tic-tac-toe through the bottom. Nothing complicated about this part, is there? It's just climb on through, drain the battery a little bit. Hopefully not too much for the hard section.
I always see lead climbing, it's like a fuel tank on a car. You've got to know when to hit the accelerator and use more fuel, and when to just slowly go at a nice average speed and use it wisely.
I'll throw it all out the window, crank the handbrake and just spin round sideways.
Just have it. The sprint. Yeah, 0 to 60 as fast as possible. You do see different techniques from different climbers, different approaches. Classic endurance climbers might just try and measure their climb all the way through to the upper sections, where some just have to put the pedal down straight from the get-go.
That would have been me back in the day. This endurance has not been my forte whatsoever. Just going to shuffle a little setup here as we introduce Zoe. Hello.
Hello. How are we doing?
Sorry to interrupt your little your route set meeting down there.
Oh, it's not important. It's just,
just work.
We're just chatting. We just like to chat.
How are you feeling about the comp so far? Watching.
I feel dazed.
Okay, you've had like a while.
We've had a while, but I also feel kind of an overall sense of gratitude for being able to do such fulfilling work as well.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I just,
Deep answer.
Yeah, grateful for the opportunity. Like I think something like this is either super intense, maybe in a negative way in how hard work it is, or it goes the other way and it's some of the most fulfilling things you can do.
And I think during when you're doing it, when you're putting the graft in, you're doing the hours, no one's here, no one's cheering for you, you're just doing the work anyway because that's your job.
Yeah.
That's the bit that can kind of be really hard, right?
Yeah.
And then actually when you sit down and you see your work in action, you're like, okay,
yeah,
I feel better now.
Yeah, for sure. And this is the bit where we're like, we're doing a lot of our analysing. So, working out what our tweaks are going to be for finals, working out whether the tweaks we did last night were the right ones.
Yep.
So we're kind of like really finishing off calibrating. So I don't feel like we've had that. We're not in a stage yet of reflecting whether we did a good or bad job because we're still watching the athletes so closely to see how they're doing on each move. Because our turnover for finals is so small that we need to make snap decisions and decide kind of what those tweaks are going to be now rather than whilst we're putting them back up. So yeah, it's still definitely just in that deep focus mode for what the holds are like, how the athletes are getting on.
And that's where the stress is with the setting, because you have to separate these climbers.
Yeah, but you have to not get stressed about it.
Exactly. The stress is not getting stressed.
Yeah.
So we had Sean with the high point on the men's, well, matched high point, should I say, on the right-hand side. We've also got
Izzy over there on the second athlete to make it through the little pop to the kind of like pinch on the volume, and she's in a nice little twofer section now.
If she can hold this next point.
She's looking strong though, she's looking calm. I really enjoy watching her climb. She's got a really nice balance between like being technical, but also like she's just a super strong climber in her style.
And this, you actually set the top section of this route, am I right in saying?
No,
not the red and blue.
No, I haven't even been on that one. So
I've got wrong.
Yeah, that's
got the wrong knowledge there. Sorry, everyone.
we all did a little bit of a mishmash of everything, really. But actually, I didn't have anything to do with that one. That one is Mikey Cleverton and Max Ayrton. Special.
No, and it looks like at the start, it's kind of bigger holds, more powerful. And then as the wall angle starts to slack off a little bit, the holds also slack off too and disappear.
And if you don't kind of like keep body tension on that top bit, it's going to spit you off.
Okay.
And this route is interesting because I feel like with the field that we've got, with a big, kind of quite a big range in
ability.
Yeah, exactly. Ability, where there had to be like definite sections of the route when we're setting it. So you kind of, and you can see that when the athletes are climbing on it. So it'll be interesting to see how they find it as we get further down the field.
Yeah. And setting routes for this level of competition, do you, for want of a better word, do you have a clue about where to start? Do you set something and then tweak the difficulty of it? Like, what's the approach as a route setter?
At the start of the day, we work out, obviously, where we're starting, if it's like what round it is, where finals qualifiers. We decide roughly what grade it is, who's climbing it, in terms of the athlete, in like a little bit of chat about heights. You know, have we got anyone particularly small or particularly big, to make sure that we're catering for that range. That's why it's so nice setting for your national field, because generally you know who are the biggest and smallest. Whereas some competitions, maybe if it's a smaller one, you don't actually know the people that are competing. But beyond that, it's great. We just get free rein to try and be as creative as possible. And in terms of the level, I just feel like you, as a setter, like the more national events you do, the better you learn the level, and you just fine tune it. And then I can't even really put a grade on it because it's sort of ungradable, but you just gradually learn the level. And it's that's the bit you feel like is really interesting to learn, because when you're climbing, you get to have this awareness of moves, not necessarily whether it works or not, but how hard are you pulling? How hard are you pulling compared to the move below, or the route that you've set as the other qualifier and things like that. So you're constantly, as you're climbing, just analysing.
And that's where you need the consistency of being the route setter for multiple events. You can stay within there.
Yeah, because it's really important that you can build that kind of relationship in your mind with the athletes. Or the level of the athletes.
Looked like a little bit of disappointment there for Imogen Lilly on the far left, under 17. I know she would have definitely wanted to get higher than that. Just a little mistake.
And I think from knowing her as she climbs in Sheffield, she was definitely had that capability within her.
And Anya on the women's senior route, she placed 9th last year in the BLCCs, which is one place out of finals. It would be really great if we could actually see her pull that back into the top 8, just to give her that.
She's been on this great kind of like incline. Oh, look at this on the men's semi-final. We've got a bit of beater break come from Fred.
There's you spotting it on the right. I'm looking on the left.
That's the problem with semi-finals. There's so much going on at once.
Speaking to Kalian earlier, he did say that there was maybe 3 different ways through that crux section there. A paddle 1, 2, 3. The feet first. Obviously, Fred's opted for that, but didn't get any further than the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're still seeing the same high point.
The people that, to be honest, I think Fred looked not as close as the people that committed to the 1, 2, 3 and not quite stuck it.
Different styles, different approaches.
And like, I think big up to Kalian for putting that in there. Like, I think on lead routes,
a decision-making process needs to happen.
And getting to a place where we're putting more exciting moves in the British Champs is a cool place to be.
It's what you're going to get on the
only way
stage.
The athletes are going to get better at it is if we start including it. And we had obviously quite a lot of discussion about whether it was too risky, but we've done everything we can to try and like keep the move
Yes.
whilst making it as successful as possible, like the big, huge tick marks on the holds, and giving them a
You were
fairly...
feeling kind there.
We're trying to. It's not in our nature, but you know.
Well, let's see. We've got another 8 or 9 climbers still
and some
left
like
to come out.
good names coming up. We've got Jim still to go.
Sam Bosworth.
Yeah, Sam Hammond. Like loads of strong ones. They are
making it through that move. Hopefully.
Meanwhile, Anya is looking cool as cucumber up there, and I've jinxed her. No, I haven't. Thank God for that.
Good effort
She needs
holding
to get
that.
that clip in though, and I don't know if she's realised that she hasn't got it in.
I mean, she looks a little bit stressed. Not going to lie.
Still.
I don't know if she'd be given the plus there, because
No.
if she came out flying out from the wall, that might have been hard to
Also,
see back at home.
I think if she'd got the next hold, that would be, in my opinion, perhaps further than the last clipping position.
So she wouldn't have been given it anyway. Perfect. Totally. Well, thank you for joining.
No, you're very welcome.
It's, I just think it's really interesting to speak to a route setter about the process that goes into it, and also we can only know so much from having never climbed on these things.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Insights into actually she would have needed to clip from there, etc.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
thanks for joining
You're
us,
very
and
welcome.
maybe we'll pull you back in for finals.
Well, happy chatting.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. Bye.
So we carry on with the action. I'm just re-finding my spot here. So we've got Maya Gallagher on the left-hand side, looking calm and collected. And we have just lost Elijah Ashworth on the under-17 male. Again, it's so much prep and setup for these semi-finals, and then you kind of get 4 or 5 clips up and you question, I used to question, was it all worth it? But you've got to try, you've got to give it that go.
Yeah, I think competition climbing really is a numbers game as well. There's so much goes into these events, and there's so many moments where maybe outside of your control as well. So it's like I feel like you've just got to put the comps under your belt. You've got to do as many as possible. And someone like Anya Hamaimo, we've just seen there with the high point, 35, just the amount of comps that you see Anya at with her mum is just, the effort is incredible. This is looking very, very impressive here.
Maya Gallagher making moves up top of the head wall.
Yeah, making it look pretty standard so far. Really hard to read up there as well. It's really hidden, that right hand crimp from our position. You can barely even see it. Awkward clip next though. Clip right up.
Oh,
she's just sailing.
Body shakes.
Yeah, the shakes, but there's a clip to sort of thigh height for her at the moment now. Got to focus down. She can't afford to skip any quick draw. Sees it now with a really fantastic drop knee. Might go for a double clipper here.
I was going to say she might need to shake out, just give that right arm a bit of juice back.
Daniel Smith on the right as well. Massive whip.
Here's the move.
Daniel Smith. Oh, just totally fumbled it. Daniel Smith, previous BLCC British lead champion. Seeing now 3-4 climbers get to that same potential paddle dyno.
Coming up just a bit short on that move though. I don't think he'll be given the same point plus as the other climbers. Just with the right hand slipping off. If I was a judge.
I don't know.
It wouldn't be.
I think I'll be given that.
You're soft.
Generous. I mean, they come this far. I'll give it to them. Out next in the men's competition, excitingly for us, Jim Pope is going to be grating us with his presence.
The man, the myth, the legend. Faye McDougall cruising through this section. Got a really chill style, Faye, off the back of a good junior season as well.
Yeah, third at the BMC's 2025. Faye. Got talent, that's for sure. That punch up with the right hand, such a nice move, but really, really have to stay in total control. It's a really sort of blocked slot. Louis Berlin starting in the under-17 males at the bottom left of your screen at the moment. You can see them right from the get-go, very awkward, that starting position for Louis.
chiller here on the Tufa section for Faye as well. She's shaking out where most others have been shaking.
Top sections of this senior women's route we're going to start to focus on a little bit more now as we get into our top 10. Oh, just flies off there looking for that left hand.
Faye McDougall actually took gold in the Youth European League Cup in Imst in September last year.
I wonder if she's going to be a little bit disappointed with that. The way that she went down holding her head in her hands.
Yeah.
Potentially she had a little bit more there. Just missed another block slot. As bottom left of your screen, in the sort of orangey red top, Jim Pope back in competition climbing from a long break. He's kind of David Attenborough, we said. He was in his natural habitat out on the rocks, and he's come back to competition climbing for the first time in a long time.
I mean, he's just spent however long on El Cap or whatever he's been climbing in Yosemite, and now he's back doing the British League Champs. He's
an all-rounder of the game.
Absolutely.
Struggling early here. Left heel hook, not happy with it. Lucky he's got power to burn.
Yeah, I guess he's got to decide how hard he wants to try. If he doesn't feel like, it's meant to be that particularly hard a move, he might be guessing, questioning if he's doing it correctly, maybe. But he's no stranger to recomposing himself. Chilling on these pockets. Again, like we've just seen some of the other body language from the other climbers. Jim's looking chill, and have been looking stressed through this section, so we'll keep our fingers crossed.
Will we see
that
the
we
first
start
person?
To see a high point.
Yeah, first person through finds that sort of slightly blended coloured foothold. Jim goes for a powerful cross through. A lot of crowd expectation here for Jim. He's one of the more known climbers to come out onto the stage so far. Somebody you worked with a lot, Leah, in his early days.
I did. We did a lot of rock climbing. We did a lot of climbing on plastic. You could see Jim actually grabbing the quick draw there to clip.
Going for the one armour, trying to release the right hand. Oh, interesting. That blocked as he campuses over with the right hand. When Kaylee and the route setter was on here, he was saying that they added that blocker quite late last night, and you've seen a number of people fumble that hold now.
And these are what the margins that the route setters are working with, and they're always second guessing. Have we made the right choice? They've obviously got to move forward with one of the decisions. So I think Jim would have been a strong contender for actually making it through that section.
Sure,
so maybe Kalian's nerves might be ramped up a little bit here.
Well, I think so, and the judges as well, because that's a whole pile of climbers all coming in and around the same hold. 8 we need to get down to for the final. Jim was 7th from last, and we've got loads all in the same area. So we might be looking at a countback situation for that. Willow Petrobelli, another really well-known climber, fantastic on lead now. On your screen wearing 165. Willow 9th at the British Bouldering Championships. Can be seen a lot around London as well, doing the London comps. Always doing well. Suffered with a few various little injuries here and there.
Yeah, I think Willow's been suffering with, at least a couple of years ago, a really bad back injury. She took
great comeback though.
Yeah, she took quite a bit of time out for, and then she has been back on the case.
Really nice techers through there. Big drop knee roll through. Oh, just as I say that, looks really casual. Callum Wignall now in the under-17 male. Just 5 climbers in the under-17 males still to come. So these guys are absolutely battling for a place in the finals.
And with the heightened psyche around competition climbing and the opportunity of the Olympics and whatever else, I feel like sometimes it really is a game of who can not get injured due to the training demands that's required to actually be at the top of your game.
Yeah, 100%. You must have felt that a lot during that training area for the Tokyo Olympics, working with Shauna, just 3 disciplines. Now a lot of these people, we've seen them at the British Bouldering Championships a few weeks ago, now at the British Lead Championships.
Yeah.
The intensity is very impressive.
I mean, coupled with that, with a lot of these kids still being in school.
balance that with some
Yeah,
intense
exactly.
learning and
Yeah.
everything that comes along with that. Tom Balkneck now wearing 126 follows Jim Pope. So 22 or 22 plus is that area in the men's competition that we're talking about. That is that the sort of black paddle dyno or camper section that we've seen. So Jim Pope 22 plus, Finn Kurzweil, who we saw quite early on, also on 22 plus, and then Fred Williams, who tried to go feet first through that section on 22, just below 3 climbers on 21 plus. So anybody who gets past hole 22 or makes progress to 23 currently is in for a shot at finals.
Could also be a grey area for appeals, so that's also something to watch out for. We'll try and confirm any of that towards the end of the stream. But again, the BMC app will be updated with official results when it is ready.
Yeah, if you do want to check out the results for yourself at home, the website is bmc.results.info. And you'll be able to see the live competitions at the moment via that website. Click on the obvious stuff that you have to click on, and you will see where the results are.
Various tabs and buttons to get through.
Hit some buttons and you will get through. This is looking really nice from Tom. So far to this point, looking fairly in control. Bella Ryder on the far left at the side of the wall here at the moment. Tom goes with power to the first move, has a quick look around, tries to figure out what to do. There's the 1, 2, 3, and again, same position. Let's have a look at the top, Leo. I'm going to just familiarise myself with this. So that will be a 22 plus as well.
Will it? Because he was going down by that time. And this is what I mean by it might be a grey area for appeals. I would not want to be the judge or the head judge in this scenario.
I wouldn't. This is a real question mark about the route setters here as well at this point, because they have put in a paddle dyno right in the meat of where all the field is start to be separated.
So Tom was given a 21 plus on the scores there. I just don't think he had enough upwards momentum off hole 22, which Jim and Finn both looked like they were really gearing up towards that 23 hold. I think it's all about kind of reading what the climbers do. It is subject to opinion, but that is why we have judges, and that's why we have an appeals process.
Yeah, nobody really wants to be going to appeals at this stage in the competition, but we are looking fairly stacked around that same score for a cut-off for finals, so sucks to be a judge right now, I'm going to say.
If there was a job to have, for me, it would not be the judge.
Bella Ryder down after a pretty decent effort.
Connie Bridgens.
Another super exciting climber.
Yeah, cruising her way through the section. She's got her sister Izzy Bridgens coming out in a few climbers' time.
Yeah, European youth champ in lead, Connie.
So the experience is there. Almost because we're on home soil, I hope they come out with that same fighting kind of spirit that you get when you're at a world. You're at a different venue. It's all exciting. Yeah. Whereas we're in Manchester, we're at a familiar indoor wall. It still needs to be that same level of attack.
Just about to say awkward clipping position here. She's sort of got a clip by her right foot. Hasn't been looking at it for a long time. Hasn't quite decided which hand to go or which position to go to the clip from. She's shaking her head now. A little bit of trouble here from Connie very early on the route. This is a potential very big moment in the senior semi-finals. Still looking at the draw. Not sure what to do with it. Looking up, looking down.
This
Gonna have to reverse a little bit here. This is gonna hurt.
This predicament that she's in is a horrible one. You can't... Yeah, she's down. I was going to say, you can't move up because you can't clip, but you can't let go to clip because she looked really pumped, and that's going to hurt.
Massive error.
Oh, we've all been there, but not necessarily when
the stakes are this high.
A competition that matters this much, for her season.
Jamie Jenkins, only climber on the wall at the moment on the far right-hand side, senior male semi-final. Really good score in qualifying on the first route, a score of 40. Fourth last year. Can he get into the final and get herself a podium here, but we're looking for somebody to get past hold 22. Everybody slight waiting with bated breath here a little bit.
We need to stick this flare, don't we? I say we. We're not sticking any flare moves. We're sat on the sofa watching, but
we want to see something.
Yeah.
The fans want to see sports action here. Jamie then looking really, really comfortable at this point. But it's all about this next move. Left-hand sloper first. And then potentially feet first or campers through this next session. Grit of the teeth here from Jamie. Bumps the left hand a couple of times.
Okay.
Goes for the more casual
so
feet
he's got
first
the 22.
method.
That's useful right
now. At the moment,
now.
that's a place in the finals.
Yeah.
Feet first fully here, but his left hand is on is blocked now because he's got his left hand on it and he's his right hand there.
He nearly dropped the toes then.
Super precarious position. What's he going to do? He's fighting.
It's that temptation to stay on the wall longer, but no progress is being made. So it looks like he's going to commit.
He's just dangling there now. He's just completely stuck. He's going to be out of gas entirely. Yeah. Bizarre section.
But he is in joint third. But purely because he chose to feet first and take the next hold securely, which is
intelligent stuff.
Which is good.
Oliver Phillipson in the under-17 males is the fourth last climber out. On the left-hand side, Elijah Land.
Alicia Land, I'll go with. We do apologise if we get any names wrong.
4 routes all at the same time. We've got pieces of paper going everywhere here.
So we do have Thea Cameron on the senior women's route. And this is actually the heartbreak that I was talking about earlier. Thea Cameron came fourth last year, so she missed out on the bronze medal to Lucy Garlick. And that was due to a countback to qualifiers. So they drew in finals, they drew in semis, and in the qualifiers, Lucy just pipped her by 2 holds plus.
Yeah, Thea been prioritising league climbing a lot more recently. Looking for a massive result here. Didn't do the British Championships just a few weeks ago in bouldering.
And that's, I guess, you're really putting all your eggs in one basket here. You're really hoping for a good performance on the route. She has no control over the style of route that she's going to get given, so hopefully she has trained everything so that she's ready for anything thrown at her.
Nobody troubling the upper sections on the under-17 males route at the moment. Nobody really past, what's that, sort of halfway, really?
And that is the high point, I believe.
Absolutely savage under-17 male round here at the moment.
It is, and I guess we do need to remember as well that it is a selection event for the juniors.
Yeah.
Under-17s.
Proper World Cup standards. Pushing these athletes, getting them ready for the international stage. Sam Hammond starts on the right-hand far side for the senior males, as this is looking really good from Ollie. Left hand's looking fairly boxed at the moment as he holds that sort of sloping left-hand side pull. Really pulling on the heel. This is nice.
Oh, some power climbing from Thea. Mike, I don't know where to look. They're all... They're all...
That same slot in the women's, that was good from Thea. It's going to be really close in the women's at the moment. Number of climbers falling off on that same sort of move.
And just to add
35 moves in that one.
Yeah, just to add a bit of spice to it, Lucy Garlick is going to follow her. So a little bit of a battle between these two from last season.
Yeah, on the coattails.
Yeah. Lucy, like, none of these climbers know what the climber before them has done, though. So it is literally, it's you against the wall. I know we're talking, climbers versus climber, but that's actually not true. It's climber versus the wall. Come on, Sam. Oh, he looked close, but he's not going to get the 22. That's going to bring him down into 4th position. And that'll be on count back 2 yesterday. So even though he got the same score as some of the other climbers, it will put him in the highest of the 21 plus guys.
Polly Taylor there into the top 4 then in the under-17 females. Women are just a little bit behind that running order at the moment. 5 climbers to come. And in the men's, just 3 climbers and nobody successfully passed hold 22 at the moment. This is a bit of a nightmare actually in the men's. That's basically halfway. 44 is the top hold in the men's. In the women's category, Anya Hamaimoy leading the way with impressive 35. That was that blue slot where we just saw Fia Cameron fumble. That's 34 plus. There's 3 climbers on 34 plus just behind Anya. It's Fia, Faye, McDougall and Isabella Edgington. So that one's dead close as well. Let's see what Lucy can make of this. Phenomenal rise through the ranks. Lucy Garlick scored exactly the same on both qualifiers yesterday, high up on the head wall, 35 plus. 3rd last year, as you said, Leah.
Yeah, I think she's been recovering from a little bit of a finger injury. She's really been taking that into account with training and, you know, trying to get herself back ready for the start of the season. No tape on though, which is good to see.
Yeah, with big results to her name, 1st and 2nd at the European Youth Championships. Gotta feel like with such a sort of nervy round like this on such hard routes, that little bit of experience to lean on will definitely be a benefit for Lucy. Knows how to deal with the big occasions.
Yeah, certainly looking cool. Cool as a cucumber. Hanging out in these jugs. We'll see if that's the case. You know, as she starts to move up into that head wall, it really looks like the power, even though the holds get smaller, because of those chufas and those undercuts, the power really starts to pump up there to holds that are less than ideal when you need them to be.
Spike forward now in the under-17 males. He's in the middle of your lower left screen. Lucy Garlick, centre of the top screen. And down and right on the men's competition, Oliver Goodwin. We're into the top 4 now in the men's, senior males. Oliver came out of the gate, bolting really, just sort of flying through the first moves, looking very bouncy, very powerful. Let's have a look at Lucy Garlick.
Lucy winding
This
up.
is the next move. That's the high point there, hold 35.
Right,
Looking strong on it as well. Oh, and manages to chill.
Bit of a different pace there for Lucy.
Quite a few moves still to go. Lucy's looking good.
Spike just matching the high point for the under-17 men's.
On the right-hand side, Oliver, can he do this move? Or are we going to have an absolute bottleneck? Fumbles it, no. That's going to be a 21 plus. Lucy clips the final. Oh, just about to say that. She went to clip the final quick draw. Looking pretty pumped all of a sudden. Super thin moves right at the top of the wall here for Lucy. This is very impressive performance though. Just sat on that right heel. That is not a good hold for your heel as well. Very impressive.
It's not though, but it is nice to see that she's trying to chill out. She's just taking her time. If she gets that clip in, she can concentrate on just getting to that top jug. So now she can put everything behind her, concentrate on the moves in front of her and go. There's no more stopping until she gets to the top.
Root Set has said that the head wall is very, very thin. But interestingly, there's a hold there you can match with both hands.
This is Lucy Garlick we're talking about.
Let's go then, Lucy. Come on.
Elbows coming out a bit and the right hand pings just as her hips move away from the wall.
Really good battle. Definitely showed the selectors what she's made of. That would be a 42 plus,
just
probably.
Looking into the crowd for a bit of backup from her mum to see where she's being placed.
Cruised into the final.
Had a little smile on her face then when I think she got a little bit of confirmation that she's doing all right. Again, these points really do matter for countback. I mean, now more than ever for the men. But we've still got Molly to come out. We've still got Erin. We've still got Izzy, or 2 Izzies, and Zoe. So I think with that high spot, 6, 7,
Florence Nuttall then.
Just trying to see who's on the edge.
Top 3 in the under-17 females in this left-hand route. Another brutal round. Semi-finals tends to be the hardest of all of the rounds. It's where we get the true separation. Climbers have had a good rest since yesterday. We are into the final throws of this semi-final round then.
I think we've got Faye McDougall and Izzy Eddington, who might potentially, obviously it depends what the other climbers do, but we might be sitting on the fence with those positions currently in 4th and 5th, depending on what the rest of the girls
senior
do.
Women's route, senior female women's route looking absolutely fantastic at the moment. Maybe we'll get a top on that. Other routes, nobody really troubling the head walls at all. Way.
I think it's important to reiterate here, though, Mike, that it is of World Cup standard. So this isn't a comp to, get people to the top of the wall. This is a comp to see how people are going to fare at World Cup level.
Let's see how Rhys Conlon will fare at a World Cup level then, as he starts in the senior male category on the far right-hand side of the wall. That's bottom left screen on the white and black holds. Nobody through hold 22 at the moment. Goes for an early clipping low. Gets it quite smoothly, but the draw does tangle over his shoulder. Shouldn't be too much of an issue for him.
He sorted that one out.
Zoe Peterman's very exciting to see her on the wall in the senior female. Rhys then. 1, 2, hey!
And the crowd go wild.
Brilliant from Rhys. First climber.
He knows that that'll be the crux point, and I think he'll also know from the lack of cheering that no one else has stuck it.
He might as well just drop off now because he's in the finals. Let's call it a day and have the rest. Absolutely monumental distance to go. It's only halfway. One move past halfway on the route.
I mean, tactically it would be amazing, but to actually do it would be so scary as the climber.
Yeah, it looks like he's actually just bleeding a touch. Oh, no, he's actually chalking the back of the hands. He's looking forwards to the hand jam.
I mean, again,
smart move.
The foresight to be doing this. There's some shapes being pulled on the under-17 males from Arthur Ogden.
Yeah, Arthur's battle mode
isn't correct, but he's trying to make it work anyway.
Yeah, it's tangled. Oh, that's nice.
he's making it work for him. This is fantastic. Go on, lads.
Atmosphere's really risen all of a sudden here as Arthur's off. Also around halfway on the route, but Rhys has just hit the accelerator. Zoe's pumping it up into the top head wall just before this twofer section as well. First look at the hand jam section then on the men's route. That's bottom left of your screen. Parallel cracks to come. Looks comfortable in the hand jam. Rhys had a long debate about this one last night.
So there is a tiny little foothold on the bolt cap that he was just stood on then. He's not just standing on a shiny
Rhys just bumps
cover.
up the hand jam. He's looking quite comfortable. Perfect from Rhys Conlon. Very, very nice indeed. Zoe also looking in control at the moment. Former BLCC champion, Zoe.
A little bit stressed. Just coming up a bit short on that crimp.
That might just be enough, though. That's hold 35 that she was going to, so that'll be a 34 plus. It's very tight in the women's. That'll be 4 climbers all on 34 plus.
But it will put her in 3rd position again due to Polly's count back.
Good battle from Rhys, easily enough. Some of the GB team selectors and route setters just to our left, looking pretty happy with that.
And I think even though that climbing up there might have not been necessary because he was already through, it's going to give him a really good peace of mind that he had a good semi-finals, and hopefully he can carry that momentum and that frame of mind into finals.
Florence going so well here on the head wall, under 17 females. Oh, nice.
Really,
come on, Florence, let's
really
go.
Good body tension.
That's the last quick draw.
And connection at the top of that wall to say how tired she must be. She's got one more clip to get before she goes to the top. There's no holds on that left volume that she's holding on.
Oh, the drag of the left hand, just pumping it up, trying to find something. Superb battle. That will definitely be enough for a finals position.
Fantastic.
In Florence, 2 climbers still to come in the under 17 females.
I feel like the atmosphere is really ramped up here. The climbers are coming out still thick and fast. And these last sort of 2, 3, 4 climbers throughout the categories is going to be make or break for them.
Yeah, women's is really close because we've got 4 climbers tying on 34 plus at the moment, which goes down to 6th position with still 4 climbers still to come. It's going to have been potentially a bit of a bottleneck there on 34 plus. Might be a countback situation for the judges to figure out there.
So this is the last under 17 male. So this is Ethan Maxfield to close our under 17 category. So in order for him to take top spot, he will be looking to turn the lip onto the head wall. And starting up in our senior women's category, we've got Izzy Bridgens. We saw her sister climbing just a little while ago. Both of them like super strong in both lead and boulder. So we'll see where her fitness lies and where her route reading lies and decision making on the wall. Ethan making progress up the section. He'll know that he'll need to get a certain height on the wall. I think by the feeling of the moves for him, these ones aren't going to be too hard. He's relatively chilled out at the moment. Just needs to keep it calm and flow through this lower section.
On that under 17 male route, Spike Forward currently leading the way alongside Oliver Phillipson with 30 plus. Looking at where that is on the wall, that's just before the turn of the angle into the head wall.
Isaac Sutton starting up on the senior male.
Yeah, 26/27 is where he is at the moment on that route. As Isaac Sutton starts in the senior male competition.
Ethan getting close to the high point here. If he can move off the orange hold and secure the blue one over the lip, he will move into first position. But he does need to secure the blue.
Another thought. That's
not a good move for Izzy Bridgens.
It's catching a lot of climbers out, that rollover move. That's where the other Bridgens,
her sister,
fell. Oh, that was a bizarre drop in the middle of the wall there. Looks like he was absolutely cooked. Ethan Maxfield. That does end the under-17 male competition. Ethan was the final climber out, so the results will start to come in for that.
Yeah, that wasn't a drop actually, Mike. He's forgot a clip.
Ah, yeah, well spotted, Leah.
He has... he's cut his...
Yeah, and his score will go down to the last possible clipping position for the one that he missed. So his score will be massively reduced. That is a huge error for Ethan. Very unfortunate. As Isaac goes for the paddle. Oh, and he drops...
There's potential, actually, that he is still in finals. That will be giving him a score of around 23. I think, even though that's not ideal, he will actually still make finals.
Oh, it's so close, this one, all of a sudden. Brooke McMeekan, penultimate climber out in the under-17 females. Molly Thompson-Smith, one of the legends we talked about at the top of the show, coming to join us then. After a big break after the Olympics, decided to get back into competition climbing. 6 months preparation for this moment.
Has said that she has been training for this event. So there is, she has committed to being on form at this. She's not just rocking up off the street.
No, she's not coming in cold on this one. Looked great in qualifiers yesterday, Molly.
Going through the motions at the bottom of this route. This will be, she'll know that the heat's not going to be turned up here. She's definitely got the power for that upper section.
This is looking really, really strong. There's the awkward clip, but just as I say that, goes for the clip under and misses it. Jessica Brooke. Can we see a top then? That would be an awesome way to finish the under-17 female route.
I think this style of setting as well, it kind of brings out this awkward, tacky style of climbing, especially when you're so pumped, you're a bit nervous. She's got the clip, which is fantastic, and just as saying that, she's not going to get the plus on that, with her body coming down and out from the wall.
Yeah, she will be in first with that, though. The three climbers on 38 points. Brooke, Florence and Mia all through safely to the under-17 female final in the top three.
Just Jessica Ward left in that category to determine the actual running order for finals.
Yeah, Bella Ryder, Maya Chapman, Polly Taylor in the top six at the moment.
Can see a little sneaky appeal that's been put in. I don't know who from or who for.
Yeah, I reckon there'll be plenty of that as Molly does battle with this section here. This is where we just lost Bridgens. Oh, Molly goes for the pure power release.
Of course.
Oh, nice from Molly. A little bit of heart in your mouth moment there. As our final climber in the senior men's competition, Sam Butterworth, starts his campaign on the white and black route there. Only one climber to get past hole 22. That was Reece Conlon just 2 climbers ago.
What you say, Mike? Is he going to static or is he going to 1, 2, 3?
Well, to be honest, this one's a complete guess, it would seem. It's really, really inconsistent whether they can get through that move or not, as Molly smashes it to hole 35. Had to dig deep there on the right hand slightly. Left arm, elbows raised, somewhat awkward clip. Molly's in full battle mode here. That will be enough to get into finals. Just fumbles the right hand. Oh, it just all got a bit clogged up there all of a sudden.
Looking like choosing to clip from the higher brim didn't necessarily work in her favour. Just got a little bit stressed with trying to find the right body position.
Yeah,
but again,
should be second position
like
with that
you
one.
said, through to finals in a cruise, and let's hope for no ties.
Yeah, probably be 35 plus, something like that for Molly.
Yeah, 35 for Molly.
Jessica Ward then the final climber out in the under-17 females. Fantastic route on the far left-hand side of the wall here at the big depot.
It could work in her favour for Molly, though. There's something to be said for not coming out last in a competition. I think it just takes few percentages of stress off you because you're not the last one to come out.
Sam Butterworth looking a little bit stressed in that position. Really awkward, but just looks like he's recomposing himself on the far right-hand edge of this 55-degree overhang. Left hand up then. What's next? Doesn't look comfortable.
I don't think you can on that move, but he does now.
Fumbled the right hand, but still managed to have enough power to get out of jail as he hit the left hand, hold 23. So it's only the second climber to get through there. So automatically, by getting to that point, he's into finals. Great from the route setter that it's actually worked that move. It's going to definitely see us spitting off a whole pile of climbers all around the same move. At the moment, it's Reece Conlon, 38 plus. He will be joined by Sam Butterworth there somewhere. Jim Pope, Finley Kurzweil, Jamie Jenkins, Fred Williams, all around the 22 mark, 22 plus. As one of the superstars of the British team, international talent of Erin McNeice now starts in the senior female, second last climber out. Really, really exciting to see Erin in front of us here at the British Lead Championships as Sam looks like he's about to go up into this crack section.
And Jessica Ward on the left, she's no stranger to competitions. I feel like if there's a competition, she is going to be there.
Sam Butters just now struggling to move into this upper section. Sort of stalled out a little bit here, really not sure what to do. Right hand looks absolutely goosed at this point. Going for a sort of scrabbly match. Interesting the way that he's read that. Oh, he's surely off at this point. Done easily enough. The battle seemed a bit unnecessary, but he didn't know that at the time, obviously.
No, he'll get the plus.
Sam will be out second last in finals then, and it is Reece Conlon who wins the semi-final round and looked by far the best climber.
Yeah, smooth and away. He was really... As soon as he landed that move, he was collected up until the way that his arms literally gave out, whereas Sam looked like he just got a little bit flustered in that section, and there was a bit of nerves kind of got in the way, maybe with feeling like he made the wrong decision. Who knows what's going on in their mind up there? We can only be guessing at this point.
Jessica Ward looking like she's on a bit of a warm-up route at the moment.
Yeah, these little crimps will probably feel quite big to her compared to what she's climbing on.
Looking so composed.
I feel like, I don't know about you, Mike, I feel like Erin's speedometer is on the low side at the moment. Maybe because she's chill.
Maybe making sure. She knows it's a relatively low-scoring round. Just needs to make sure she makes no mistakes. Climbs as well as she possibly can. She's got that power, though. This is very impressive from Jessica Ward, though. Maybe the final climber will see her top. Would that be the dream from the route setter's perspective? Last climber out, tops the route in the under-17 female. She's bottom left of your screen.
Bumping to the top. She's got the thumb on the angle chain, just smooth with the right foot. This is great climbing from her, great composure.
Come on. This will be a massive moment. Does going to clip the draw. That's going to give her the top. Amazing work. What a great job that is from Jessica Ward. Final climber out, tops the roof.
Little wry smile on her face.
Superb work from the setters as well. Here in the women's seniors, though, Erin McNeice, Olympian.
Looked like
multiple World Cup winner.
Just enough for that move.
Yes, high point. One climber still to come. Erin looking to put a marker down here for
not quite
Isabella
the high point.
Rinaldi.
Yeah, Lucy Garlick's been matching.
Oh, you're right, Leah. Yeah, you're right.
A little bit higher on the head wall. We've got Lucy Garlick with a 42 plus.
Yeah.
So if she can stick the red volume out left, a hold on there, then she'll move into first
that
place.
right heel. Look at that. It's so sketchy. Each limb doing so much there. There's that little resting position. You're exactly right, Leah. This is where we saw Lucy Garlick really working a rest, making a plenty of time. Having a look for the clock. 6 minutes. A little bit unsure of us due to the fact that we're running 4 climbs all at the same time. Exactly how much time she got, but someone of Erin's experience will be very comfortable with the amount of time left. Pacing this one perfectly. Looks like she's going to hit the accelerator now, though.
Not coming into the side pull that Lucy did, so a little bit of a beta difference here. Route reading change.
Look how bad that next hold is.
She's moved into the top spot anyway.
Oh, it's so grim. Come on, Erin, showing her world-class talent here. The little blow of the fingers. Looking so composed now. Little 2-finger pocket thing. It's disgusting, that next hold.
Nice.
Oh, yes.
And the nerves can calm.
Really, really good job from Erin. Bit of rope drag. Just squeeze that rope up. Good work. Erin McNeice, was it ever in doubt? If there was any questions leading into this competition here from Erin, that's certainly been answered there. Looking a bit cold as she comes down, interestingly.
It's good to see her on the rope here. She chose to bow out of British champ bouldering. Didn't feel ready or in the right headspace, and I think it takes a lot to kind of acknowledge that and actually do what's best for you and not for the expectations of the sport or what you feel like you need to. So fair play to her for that, and it looks like, you know, she's got her head down and worked for being at this competition and getting herself into a place where she feels comfortable.
That was absolutely mega from Erin, and there will be a clean cut-off with the 4 climbers on 34 plus. Luckily for the judges, barring any appeals, and this one being provisional, it's Isabella Edgington in 8th position at the moment. It's unlucky for Seren Wednesday Wheels, 1.5 moves away from finals.
How good you got to finish an audience, so we want to share everything all the way up to the top. So.
This is it. Last climber in the semi-finals. All eyes on Isabella Rinaldi.
Oh, and this is what I mean about adding that pressure. She's going to be the only climber on the wall, literally the last one of semis, and I think she's got more than enough capability to get to where she needs to get into the final. It will just depend on what position she's been put into.
Yeah, but, you know, pressure can do funny things. Make sure, like Erin, pace it really nicely through the lower section. Just make sure you don't make any mistakes.
I always say a foot pop's a foot pop.
Yeah, and lead, there's no second chance in bouldering. You just get back on, have another go. But Rinaldi just going from strength to strength recently. Had this incredible moment at the British Bouldering Championships a few weeks ago with this crazy lache swing move on the fourth boulder. Nobody had done it until Isabella Rinaldi came out. It was one of the smallest climbers in the semi-final, and just, oh, it was incredible.
I feel like her body awareness for that was, she knew exactly what she had to do, and she executed
fly
it.
through the air. And and then coming out here on a completely different style, creeping up a lead wall, shows that she's very all-rounded.
Well, I was going to say, I think she was just about to miss a prime chance to clip there, but she caught herself.
Yeah, no such mistake.
Go through the formalities of the start of the route.
Yeah, we get this a lot in lead, where we start to be much more familiar with the routes. Having said that, 4 routes at once all throughout the morning here. Barely felt like I've got to know any of the moves on these routes.
Yeah, and I also feel like it has gone by quick, this semi-finals. I was expecting a bit more of a prolonged session.
Let's see how Iggy gets on with this next move. Oh, looking really casual on the release. We saw Molly really putting the power down on that release, and Iggy just bumps up the right hand. Clip down and right, though. We've seen one of the Bridgen sisters struggling with this clip as well. Iggy's gone high as well. This could be a little bit of a moment here for Iggy. She's going to have to reverse potentially as well. Can she reach down and right? Huge upset earlier on this. Oh, all of a sudden, Iggy Rinaldi's in all sorts above her here.
This is the same we saw from Izzy, isn't it? This is the same we saw from Izzy, isn't it?
Yep.
Again, the painful situation if you can't move up, but you can't move down.
Have to hit reverse gear all of a sudden here and try and find something.
Have to get creative to get this clip. She's got the beans in the tank to hang in there and figure it out, but she needs to physically be able to clip.
Clipping down and right isn't working.
I feel like she needs to get the rope round the right side of her right leg.
Pumping out. She's pumping out.
She is pumping out. Oh dear. Let me see what.
She's going to need to get to hold 34 plus to get through. She's going for the big cross through. This is a moment. Desperation here from Iggy. Fumbled the clip once or twice. Whoa, gets it in. How much damage has that done though?
The crowd are backing her. I mean, oh, and she's off. Fumble of the next crimp.
Oh, that's hugely. That is absolutely massive, because that is only around hold 29. She needed 34 plus to go through.
And all of the prep these climbers put in.
It's a meltdown.
We've talked a lot about clips in this competition. And again, this is the undoing of quite a few of the bigger names that you might expect to see or would like to see in the final. I can also confirm that there was an appeal in the senior men's category. And I apologise if I get the name wrong, but Tom Buchnet
Tom
has been upgraded to 22 plus, so he now sits in joint third position.
Well, like we said, there was going to be appeals. There's always going to be appeals on a move like that, all in that bottleneck around that sort of awkward section of the paddle dyno. Hasn't worked that well, that section, would I say, but the margins of getting it right. When we did see climbers go through it, it was really impressive, but it was definitely a bit of a sticking point halfway up the route. Only 2 climbers getting through that move out of 25. That does bring us to a conclusion here. Fantastic work from the route setters in the senior female route. Erin McNeice showing proper class, way above the rest of the field before with the top. Lucy Garlick just behind her, 42 plus. Fantastic from Molly Thompson-Smith, and Anya smashed it to come into 3rd and 4th. Zoe Petermans, Thea Cameron, Faye McDougall and Isabella Edgington A nice little split there on 34 plus. It was very, very close. They will be your top 8 in the senior females.
We have got a bit of a split there, but they are all still bunched up. So this finals route and the style of setting is really going to matter. This is going to put the route setters in a bit of a pressured situation to get this right.
Further down, Seren Wednesday Wills came out early and was so close to final. She's the unlucky one, dropping out of into ninth. In the senior male competition, it's Oliver Goodwin who's going to miss out on finals with 21 plus. He's going to miss out, and there's a huge pile of climbers all around that 21 plus, 22, the big setup move for the jump. Not many scorers, not many climbers troubling the upper section, but Reese Conlon looked far and away the better athlete. Cool, controlled, calm, right up into the head wall. Sam Butterworth just behind him. There's Tom, who got bumped up into the 22 plus club, and it's Isaac Sutton in 8th position. That is a judge's nightmare, that route. Around 21, 21 plus, 22 and 22 plus. I'm sure a blizzard of appeals might be coming in if that's what gets you through to the finals.
Again, I think the judges are going to have a bit of a job on their hands, and it'll be really interesting to see what the route setters are pulling out the bag. If, that's the level that we can see from the senior men's route, what have they got coming out in this final round? It'll be really exciting to see.
So go and check the results for yourself. It's bmc.results.info. Click on the British League Championships semi-finals. You can see that on the website there. For us, for now, that does end a rather interesting and fantastic semi-final round here live from the Big Depot in Manchester. Join us at 5:15 UK time for the under-17s final, and 6:30 we will be rolling with the seniors, and a lot of big names to come tonight. For now, go and have some lunch, and we'll see you this afternoon.
A good friend of mine describes being introduced to climbing as one of the best gifts he ever received. So if we think of introducing people to the outdoors and climbing, mountaineering as a beautiful gift, then why would we deprive anyone from it?
Okay. classically moving together means a number of climbers that are moving at the same time, usually joined by a rope. Being part of the BMC is being part of a really amazing community. Every type of person, you know, from all walks of life, and everybody's included.
Meeting people who share values and interests all around the world.
It's brilliant to have organisations like the BMC that are able to provide spaces and resources for communities to grow.
It all focuses around enabling people to do the climbing that they want to do.
Try and connect with people. I think that's the most valuable thing you can do with your climbing. Share ideas, share creativity. I think it's the biggest aspect of climbing for me, is the community.
Everybody is cheering for everybody. It's a really nice community to be a part of.
Adventure means different things to different people. Having an enjoyment of the outdoors and having a sense of adventure, you learn to think quickly under pressure.
Well, I think it's a tricky thing, because at one level you could say it's a sort of an adrenaline addiction, but I'm not an adrenaline sort of a person really. You need to be prepared yourself and sometimes taking guidance from somebody else as well.
Adventure is good for your well-being.
So I find myself very easily distracted on my phone, and I find that when I'm outside, when I am halfway up a cliff, when I am hiking with friends, all of that sort of takes the back seat a bit.
Sometimes normal life can be quite stressful, but adventure climbing and getting yourself out there can just help you manage those tricky moments.
The freedom it gives me, particularly as a full-time wheelchair user, it's mentally and physically challenging, and it's something I can do with all my friends.
A large part of making things accessible is role modelling.
You know, it's not exclusive to top climbers, it's not exclusive to competition climbers or whatever. Everybody can come and have a go.
We have a part to play in breaking down the barriers that prevent people from going into the outdoors.
It's lovely when we can come together from diverse backgrounds, we can come together from very different genders and ages.
We're all guests anyway, whether we're in the Peak District or in the Himalaya, and part of the delight of being in places is to be with other people and involve people in the excitement that it gives me anyway.
I believe that representation matters. When you can see people that look like you, that gives you the confidence, the courage, the ability to dare to be.
The BMC reps, working with access, this is crucial, and for me it's one of the most important things, because the access to the outdoors is just so important. They're constantly working with landowners, farmers, making sure paths are in good state of repair, making sure we have access to the cliffs. You know, there's a lot of work goes on behind the scenes.
As individuals who are climbing a lot outdoors, you totally have a responsibility to not leave any mark.
These are beautiful places, and I think people should try and leave zero trace.
It's all about trust. It's all about moving together and trusting each other, and that's a really good example to use that in terms of the BMC, moving together, trusting each other going forward.
No, that's well nice, try it.
God. I think supporting each other, not just through climbing, but through life is quite important.